How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Lucid Group. I know it's been a while since I've given you guys an update, but of course, Lucid is starting to look a lot more attractive. So I want to make sure I got this video out for you guys. So before I get started, of course, I got to go over the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you are a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to be going over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. And as far as the buying zone that I've liked preferably for Lucid stock. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information. This is key because we want to know, does it have short squeeze potential, and are institutions loading up on shares? And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. Were institutions loading up on large scale orders for the week, or have they been selling? We're going to be finding out. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going over the final thoughts and as well as some more key details. So let's get to it. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for Lucid Group. Let's see how it performed on the day. So I ended up closing at $21.71, being down 3.73%. On the low, it tested $21.51, and then on the high, testing $22.61. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 6.546 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days being at 7.418 million shares. So we had a little bit below average volume, which is part of the reasons why we ended up seeing some pressure on the overall stock price. When we take a look at our chart, which we are using the 1-year daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it's at 39.94. And as far as for our indicators, we are below the 21-day EMA. We're also below the 100-day, but of course, we are sitting on top of the 200-day here at $21.31. But one thing to keep in mind, you're going to want to see this 200-day act as support. If Lucid ends up breaking through it, that's when we start getting into the $20 range like I was speaking about, which I know many will be adding to their positions. But if it's able to actually stay in this particular area, then of course you're going to want to see some strength of it going past a 100-day here at $22.74. It ended up testing $22.61 on the day. So as far as tomorrow, you're going to want to see it actually get past that and see if it can gain some momentum above the 100-day. And then of course, if you see even more buying volume coming in, then you're going to see some resistance and a test here right at the 21-day EMA at $23.44. So if it does decide to pull back, I just want to make sure that you guys are prepared. And like I was saying, entry is so key here. So if you believe in the long-term prospects, getting Lucid in the $20 range or below can be an attractive opportunity if you're willing to consider it. So now we're going to be taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information for Lucid Motors. Now, as we scroll down on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So we don't see any filings for the 19th, but as you can see here very clearly, we have a lot of closed positions here. We also have a put there, put here, Atlas Principles. We also have Bluefin, and taking into consideration going further even back, we still have a lot more closed positions. So as far as new positions that have been opened, what we could see here for the 16th, we have Exodus Point Capital Management that purchased just over 15,000 shares, and we also have Salem Investment Counselors that purchased just over 350 shares. And scrolling back, we also have Balzaneri Asset Management that purchased just around 13,000 shares back on the 16th. So as far as institutional activity is concerned, it is not looking the greatest, but hey, we do have some institutions taking positions. Now, when we take a look at the short interest information, we can see from the short shares availability, it is at 3,000, updated 14 minutes ago. And for the short ball free rate, it is at 129.93%. Wow, I must say. So now we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio. We can could see here for the 16 going far back, it was around 38.54. We could see now for the 17th being at 45.22, and the close for the 18th being at 41.17. So it's gone down a little bit, but one thing we do need to understand, Lucid still continues to have short squeeze potential. So if we have a lot of volume coming through the stock, or we end up getting somewhat of a catalyst, then you can look forward to seeing some very strong moves in price action. So continue to keep this stock on your watch list. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for Lucid Group. So we could see here on the inflow it was at 19.19, and then on the outflow it was at 32.92. So we could see it was clearly an outflow day. So we could see here it was 0 on the large, 9.87 on the medium, and 9.32 on the small. Keep in mind this is in the millions. Now when we take a look at the outflow side, you can see it's at 0.98, and then on the medium it's at 18.79, and then on the small being at 13.15. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you could see for today, August the 19th, ended up being big outflows at 977.26. We had 0 on the 18th, 0 on the 17th. As far as for the 16th, another outflow day being at 811.87, but we did have an inflow day on the 13th being at 881.74. So overall for the week ended up being mainly outflows, but do keep in mind it's still showing some strong price action. It is breaking through areas of support, but I feel like especially if you believe in the long-term prospects, it is looking fairly attractive. Could it look even better? Most definitely, and that's part of the reasons why I'm still going to continue to look forward to a bigger pullback. So now let's jump into the final thoughts. So for my final thoughts for the Lucid Group, I'm going to keep this stock on my watch list for tomorrow. And part of the reasons being is when we went on Fintel taking a look at the short interest information, we saw the short borrow free rate was nearly 130%. So anyone who is shorting Lucid, you are paying a significant amount to do this. And as far as the short volume ratio, it continues to have short squeeze potential. So if we end up having a strong catalyst coming through this stock, then we could see some strong moves in overall price action. This is the type of news that I know a lot of my short-term traders, swing traders really do love to hear. As far as taking a look at the institutional ownership as of late, it hasn't been the greatest, and it's a type of activity that you really don't want to see. But we do see for a fact that institutions have been purchasing up some shares. When taking a look at the order flow distribution, yes, we have institutions that had some large scale orders, but for the most part, it has been outflows. Another thing to understand as far as for the EV sector overall in general, it has been pulling back quite a bit. If you haven't realized already, companies that are being rewarded are the ones that are putting up good earnings and the ones that are profitable, and also have PEs that are a lot more favorable. So a company like Lucid does not have any profits yet whatsoever. They are not making any money. They don't even have any cars on the road as far as production for the public. So taking all of this into consideration is part of the reasons why we are seeing these pullbacks. But I look at them as opportunities, especially if you believe in the long-term prospects. I know I was getting a lot of flack in my other cciv videos and my Lucid videos when I was saying, hey, buy in at a better price, and many were just saying, nah, you crazy, you out of your mind, this is the best it's gonna get. And here we are right now, it is pulling back and looking a lot more attractive. Am I saying it's going to stay in these ranges for a very long time? No, I'm not. But one thing I want you to be aware of when it comes to your entries, it is so important because this is how you maximize your overall profits. And before I close this video out, I just saw before I was putting this video together, Lucid has sent out an email to pre-orders in regards to confirming the Air Dream edition. So this is definitely a great step forward for Lucid. Now we have to look forward to hearing some more news and some more updates that can drive the overall stock. But one thing we do have to keep in mind, there's a lot of demand for Lucid vehicles. So keep that in mind when you're doing your homework and as well as your due diligence. And it's part of the reasons why I feel like Lucid has so much potential for the future. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.